Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Dwayne The Rock Johnson here, back with another terrible YouTube video, and my camera needs to be adjusted. Yeah, so at the end of last season, I did the same thing as this season, just top 10 shootouts and blowouts, but I did it for last season, so I'm doing it again this season. So, yeah, that's it. Also, at the time of this recording, the Super Bowl hasn't happened yet, so I'm just gonna hope that it isn't a part of any of these categories, and if it is, that's unfortunate. Every other game has, though, so it probably won't. Also, this video was very sparsely researched. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's right, but it might not be right. Like, I could have missed a game. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I just could have missed a game. So if I missed a game, that's unfortunate. I'm not going to remake this because I don't feel like it, but, you know. Now, that seizure. The title of this video says Blowouts and Shootouts. However, there are two other things that I want to do first. Ties and shutouts. So, those two things. Ties is really easy because there was only one of them. In week 10, I had this whole paper with like all the things on it, by the way. Ties was week 10 when the Lions and the Steelers tied somehow. The Steelers should have ran away with that game. The Lions probably should have won that game, but they threw it away. So did the Steelers, but that's not the point. Yeah, they tied at 16, so it's a low-scoring game. It was a very boring game. It was rainy for the entire game, so... Also, the Lions finished 3-13 once, and the Steelers finished 9-7-1. So I don't know how the Steelers didn't win. And also, the Lions missed an extra point in this game, so they should have won anyway. And they missed a game winner in overtime. Like, both teams wanted to lose this game so bad. I'm getting so off track. Oh my god. But yeah, that was a horrible game. And shutouts. Now, in the NFL this year, there were 8 shutouts that happened. However, only 2 out of those 8 fit onto the blowouts list. None of them on the shootouts, obviously. But only 2 of them are on the blowouts. Here are the other 6, because the 2 will get mentioned later. 6, and I order them by points. So week 15, the Saints beat the Buccaneers 9-0. Week 10, Packers beat the Seahawks 17-0. I'm not going to say the weeks, I'll say the weeks later, but you know. Titans beat the Jaguars 20-0. Patriots beat the Falcons 25-0. Broncos beat the Jets 26-0, and the Colts beat the Texans 31-0. So that's all the first 6 shutouts. And the other 2 are on the blowouts list. So, yeah, that happened. But, yeah, enough of that and the intro and whatever. Time to get into the actual, you know, blowouts and shutouts. Not shutouts. Shootouts. Seizure. Blowouts and shootouts. So, starting it off with blowouts. Now, so how I did this, I ordered the blowouts by how like, big the margin of victory was. And, after number 8... My phone is... Oh, my God. After number 8, there were 3 games that had a margin of victory of 35. So I guess this is technically top 11 blowouts. I just didn't want to leave one out, but yeah. So number 9, 10, and 11 all have a margin of victory of 35. Number 11 just happens to be one of the shutouts. The Bills beat the Dolphins 35-0. So yeah, that happened. That's number 11, I guess. And then numbers 9 and 10, which are the exact same score. The Saints somehow beat the Packers 38-3 in week 1, and then the Packers won 13-4, and the Saints won 9-8. Not sure how that happened. And then later in the season, the Buccaneers beat the Bears, also with a score of 38-3. So that's the 3 games with a margin of victory of 35. And now I'm just gonna go up the list. There were 2 games with a margin of victory of 38. And by the way, like, I sorted these by, like, if it's the same amount of victory, then the one that's higher is the one that had more total points. So that's how I did it. But yeah, anyway, number 8, the Eagles beat the Lions 44-6. Number 7, the Patriots beat the Browns 45-7. So those both have a margin of victory of 38. So that's numbers 7 and 8. Number 6, the Chiefs beat the Raiders 48-9. So that happened, and also that was a scoregami game, so that's pretty swag. Number 5, 4, and 3 are all a margin of victory of 40. You got the Bills beat the Texans 40-0. So that's the biggest shutout of the year. That's the other shutout. The 2 biggest shutouts were both by the Bills, by the way, so that's pretty nice. And then you got the Cowboys beat the Falcons 43-3. And the Patriots beat the Jaguars 50-10. And now, we're up to the top 2. Oh, by the way, in that Bills-Texans game, the Bills were favored by 17.5 points. They won by 40, so I'm pretty sure they, beat the spread by a little bit. Anyway, number 2, the Patriots absolutely destroying the Jets, 54-13. So, that happened. And then number 1, the biggest blowout of the year, week 16. The Washington football team, or now I guess they're the Commanders, but in the season they were the football team, Washington, whatever. They had just barely lost to the Cowboys, 2 weeks earlier. They only lost by 7 points to the Cowboys, and they were ready to get a redemption here. And they lost by 42 points. Final score, Cowboys 56, Washington 14. Margin of victory of 42. biggest blowout of the entire season. So that happened. Now, on to the shootouts. By the way, shootouts is like a lot of points. I don't know if you know that, but you know. Okay, number 10 shootout of the year with a total amount of 72 combined points. You got the Chiefs beat the Eagles with a score of 42-30. Number 9, 73 points. Buccaneers beat the Falcons 48-25. Number 8, 74 points. It keeps going up by 1. That's cool. Kind of cool. 74 points. The 49ers beat the Lions 41-33. Also, fun fact, at one point in the game, the 49ers were up 41-10, and then the Lions scored 23 points in the fourth quarter. It was almost an amazing comeback, but it wasn't. And then number 6 and 7, the only 2 games in the NFL this year with exactly 75 points were also the exact same score, which is kind of weird. Colts beat the Jets 45-30. And then 5 weeks later, the Packers beat the Bears 45-30. Also, before this year, that score had never happened in NFL history, and now it happened twice in 1 year, which is kind of weird. But yeah, that's 6 and 7. All right, number 5 came in week 18, the last week of the season. The Cowboys beat the Eagles 51-26. Number 4, the Chargers. Okay, well, number 4 and number 3 are the same amount of points, but you get it. Number 4, Cowboys. No, not Cowboys. Chargers beat the Steelers 41-37. And then number 3, Chiefs beat the Bills 42-36. Now, those last two have the same amount of points. I'm just putting the Chiefs-Bills one first because that was a playoff game, and also that one went into overtime. The other one didn't, and it was just overall an amazing game compared to the other one. I mean, the first one was amazing, but the second one was better. Probably the game, undisputedly the game of the year up to this point because the top 2 weren't really as good as that one. But yeah, that was 3 and 4, both with 78 points. Number 2, with a combined 80 points, Week 17, the Seahawks beat the Lions 51-29. So that's one of those really rare ones that's like a really big shootout and also a really big blowout. So that happened. And then number 1, 89 combined points. Over a touchdown over the number 2 spot. It wasn't even close between number 1 and number 2. Week 5, the Chargers beat the Browns 47-42. So, yeah, that's a lot of points. Yeah, I think there were like 41 points scored in the fourth quarter of that game. Both defenses just decided to not show up for pretty much that whole game. But yeah, Also, I'm really mad that game wasn't a scoregami because it was gonna be, but then the scoregami gods said no. The Chargers missed both an extra point and a 2-point conversion, both of which would have made the scoregami. But you probably don't know or care about that or both. But that's not the point. Yeah, that's it for the top 10 blowouts and shootouts and kind of ties and kind of shutouts of the year. Yeah, as I said earlier, I did this last year, and I'm just recycling an old video idea because, I don't know, I just feel like I have to do it again. And just like last year, I did this game before the Super Bowl happened. Not this game. I did this video before the Super Bowl happened. Last year, the Super Bowl ended up not being on any... Wow, my shirt is really small. But yeah, hopefully the Super Bowl isn't on any of the lists. If it is, that's unfortunate. I don't even know why I made this. I know this is going to get no views, and I feel like I'm just going to, right now, it's 3:12 and none of my parents are here, so I feel like I'm just gonna go ahead and record 5 videos to post in the near future, but So yeah, it is currently Super Bowl Sunday Eve. I just recorded this video, and that's all for the top 10 games, kind of list things of the season. This is also my 3rd top 10 video in a row, which is kind of weird, but yeah, that's about it. I hope you did enjoy this video, and yeah, see ya.